Our visiting team in this game, and let's give you a little idea of just who are the 23-6 Tomcats out of the very difficult Upstate 8 Conference. And veteran coach Scott Martins is the coach who has led the Tomcats here out of their far western suburbanite area. And let's find out a little bit more about what Aurora, Illinois is all about. Aurora and its almost 100,000 citizens lies along Interstate 88, about an hour west of Chicago. Present-day Aurora is formed by merging the east side of the McCarthy Brothers' old sawmill, and the west side, bounded by Theodore Lake and Stope Island along the Fox River. Aurora was the first city in America to have electric lights, and East High School played the first high school football game played under lights against Joliet. Founded in 1837, Aurora houses many century-old landmarks. The road to Champaign for the Tomcats started off by knocking off Downers Grove South, beating Naperville North, and then knocking off a very difficult Frem team in the Super Sectional, the third time that the Tomcats have beaten Frem in the last 5 Sweet 16 matchups to get them here as a member of the Elite Eight. Now for the home team here in quarterfinal game number 2. They are the Warriors of the Chicago Public League, and anyone who comes out of the Public League you know is coming here ready to play. Coach Roy Condotti has them at 27-3 on the year out of the very tough west side of Chicago. Westinghouse Vocational High School, located on Chicago's west side, has been home to some of the finest pro basketball players, like Mark Aguirre and Hersey Hawkins, to name 2. School lots such as this one near the famous K-Town area are the starting point for many of today's would-be stars. The west side still has serene and beautiful Garfield Park, with its lagoon and, yes, even some wild birds calling Chicago home. The Garfield Park Fieldhouse stands as a symbol to the proud heritage of this nearly century-old neighborhood. The road to Champaign came through the difficult Public League playoffs, knocking off Young and Taft, and then, of course, beating the king of the hill at the time. But Westinghouse lays claim to that #1 spot in the city of Chicago, and they are here to prove it as members of the Elite Eight. Now, to set up the game for you further, let's send it back over to center court to our announcers, Kenny McReynolds and Tom Stucker.
All right, thank you very much, Joe, and hello, everybody. Here in quarterfinal game number 2, you've got Westinghouse, who survived the rugged Public League playoffs. They're here for the first time in 11 years. For the Tomcats of East Aurora, they're here for the 3rd time in 5 years. But Kenny, even their coach, Scott Martin, says, we thought we were a year away from coming back here.
Well, surprise, surprise, because they're here. They're happy to be here. They thought they were a year away. It's a young basketball team, but I tell you what, you'll have to do very well against a very tough Westinghouse ball club.
The East Aurora Ball Club, the key for them, obviously, is the fact they're a quintessential team. They'll throw 9 players at you. They have only 2 players averaging in double figures, and that's barely. I mean, their leading scorer is averaging just over 12 points a ball game.
But, you know, I like that. Coaches love it when you can go on your bench like this, 9 to 10 guys deep. That's very good.
Let's take a look at one of the stars for that ball club in terms of Warren Brookson. They're leading Jamal Robinson from the Proviso East Ball Club, of course, in the other quarterfinal game. Warren Brookson is the leading scorer for the East Aurora Tomcats.
Well, no question about it. Brookson is an outstanding basketball player for East Aurora. This basketball team, they depend a lot on this young man. It's a young team, and you have to remember, when you're young, you have to get leadership from somebody.
Let's take a look at some action from East Aurora and, of course, Warren Brookson.
Well, East Aurora, they get up and down the floor so well. And see, Warren Brookson is number 40 in your screen. He's only 6'3". He's a junior, 185. Boy, but look at that shot right there. That's a 3-point shot right there. They do such an outstanding job when you can shoot like that. Basketball teams would just love to get up and down the floor. So when you get a team like East Aurora, and you can see in that highlight, they go up and down the floor so well, this will be a very exciting basketball game.
I talked about, of course, the head coach of the ball club that said they were a year away, and right now he is down there with our Joe Passion.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. And Scott, talk a little bit about what concerns you the most when you have all this talent coming out of Westinghouse. How do you throw your talent against them?
Well, all that talent scares me, Joe. We're going to have to keep them off the boards because they're much bigger than we are, and they rebound awful well, and they're quicker than we are, and we haven't played anybody except maybe Chicago Marshall and Proviso West that has been quicker than us all year, and we like to press, and we don't know what's going to happen because with our press the way it is, we need the turnover off it, and if Westinghouse takes care of the ball, we're in trouble.
All right, I'll let you get back to your team. Scott, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Roy Condotti is right here, so we get a chance to go back-to-back point, counterpoint with the coaches, and obviously they also have a lot of talent that your Warriors will have to contend with.
He's just as big as we are. Don't listen to him. But their quickness and their depth, we're concerned about that. You know, he can shuffle in 9 or 10 players. He's not worried about the fouls, and we have to come out and handle their pressure early.
Okay, go get him, Roy. Thank you very much. And we'll see both coaches again coming up at the half. In the meantime, we'll send it back over to center court where Kenny and Tom will fill us in further about these two teams here in the second quarterfinal game.
Well, in this ball game, quickness is a common denominator for both ball clubs, but the difference might be the size for Westinghouse.
Well, Westinghouse, they're quick, they're a fast basketball team. Of course, you have Greer in the middle, but what can you say about Dwayne Garris? Garris is an all-state guard for Westinghouse. He scored 27 points in the Public League Final over Martin Luther King. This young man can do so many things. You know, he's flashy. He can hit that three-point jump shot. That's not his forte, but he showed against the Martin Luther King team that he loves to hit that jump shot. You can see right there the drive of Dwayne Garris. This young man, he's flashy. I call him little hot dog, little showman, but he gets up and down the floor, and he does so many things so well. Look at this, behind the back, gets it over to his man, David Greer right there. They come away, and I think, of course, let's talk about our game plan.
All right, take a look right now. You see the fact that Aurora East is going to press you. They're going to press you from the time you have breakfast in the morning.
You better believe it. I think they have to get some deep offense from their defense. And, of course, they have to get production from their bench. From Westinghouse, they have to handle the pressure of Aurora East. And Garris must drive. He's a good shooter, but he loves to drive to the bucket to make things happen.
So it should be yet another exciting quarterfinal game. I don't know if we can equal the intensity of the first quarterfinal game, but this game has the potential to do that.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be an up-and-down basketball game. We have a couple of great basketball players and a couple of great teams.
All right, coming up, we'll have the introduction of the starting lineups for quarterfinal game number 2. This is brought to you by one of your network sponsors. It's Country Companies Insurance. Welcome back to the Assembly Hall. We'll get ready for quarterfinal game number 2. Let's get now the introduction of today's starting lineups.
Quarterfinal game featuring the Tomcats of East Aurora High School, entering this game with a record of 23-6, and the Warriors of Chicago Westinghouse, who come into this game with a record of 27-3. First, let's meet the non-starters from East Aurora. Number 10, a 5'9" senior, Tyrone Aiken. Number 14, a 5'10" junior, James Pewitt. Number 22, a 5'11" junior, Dion Sams. Number 24, a 6-foot sophomore, Tyrone Williams. Number 32, a 5'6" junior, Omar Magana. Number 34, a 6-foot junior, Danny Felix. Number 42, a 6-foot junior, Alex Donaldson. Number 44, a 6'3" junior, Bruce Grissett. Number 52, a 5'11" sophomore, David Moore. And number 54, a 6-foot senior, Tony Talley. And now here are the non-starters from Chicago Westinghouse. Number 12, a 5'8" senior, Vernon Hampton. Number 14, a 5'10" sophomore, Ronald Dooling. Number 30, a 6-foot sophomore, Mark Miller. Number 33, a 6'3" junior, Richard Bibbs. Number 40, a 6'4" senior, Terrence Nicholas. Number 42, a 6' junior, Terrence Ellis. Number 50, a 6'6" senior, Hugo Thurmond. Number 52, a 5'10" sophomore, Terry Gavings. Number 54, a 6'2" junior, Reggie Osborne. And number 55, a 6'9" junior, Demetrius Harrington. And now introducing this afternoon's starting lineups. At forward for East Aurora, a 6'3" junior, number 40, Warren Brookson. At forward for Westinghouse, a 6'6" senior, number 23, David Greer. At the other forward for the Tomcats, a 6' junior, number 30, Kevin Savage. And at the other forward for the Warriors, a 6'1" junior, number 20, Travis Weatherspoon. At center for East Aurora, a 6'3" senior, number 50, Fred Johnson. And at center for Westinghouse, a 6'5" junior, number 34, Corey Billups. At one of the guards for East Aurora, a 5'10" senior, number 20, Kevin Jones. At guard for Chicago Westinghouse, a 6' senior, number 44, Kareem Cubbins. At the other guard for East Aurora, a 5'7" senior, number 12, Mike McAllister. At the other guard for Westinghouse, a 6'2" junior, number 22, Kiwan Garris. And now let's meet the coaches from both teams. First for East Aurora, assistant coaches Wendell Jeffries, Kerry Kelly, and Bob Jungles. And the head coach in his 7th season is Scott Martins. And for Westinghouse, assistant coaches Frank Grassetto and Chris Head. And the head coach in his 6th season, Roy Kandati.
So there you have the starting lineups for quarterfinal game number 2. We're about set. One of your network sponsors. Tom Stalker and Kenny McReynolds back with you at the Assembly Hall. East Aurora against Westinghouse. And there to take a look at the matchups. Out front at the guards, of course, you've got Garris. Jones runs the show for Aurora East. Big matchup inside involves Fred Johnson at center and David Greer for Westinghouse. Let's take a look now at how these teams stack up. And you can look at pretty even in terms of 3 categories for one, 3 for the other.
It should be a pretty evenly matched basketball game.
East Aurora wins the tip as McAllister sets it up. Kevin Jones now. Those two will interchange at the point.
And Westinghouse comes out in his own defense.
McAllister from the wing shooting for 3. No. Underneath, getting the offensive board. It won't spin in for Savage. Coming down with a loose basketball, Kareem Cubbins. They press it down court quickly, knocked out of bounds along the sidelines by McAllister.
Well, McAllister along the sideline just tipped the ball out of bounds.
Just underway, first to 4 8-minute quarters, no shot clock in high school basketball. There's Garris, pulls up and shoots an air ball. Comes down the other side to Billups. And Aurora East comes out of there with it. McAllister pushes it very quickly. Kevin Jones from 15. He threw up a brick. And it's going to be Warriors basketball.
Well, a little tight, I would say, you know, to start the basketball game out the first 35, 40 seconds or so. You know, this game will get better as East Aurora now goes into a full-court press that they try to double-team the basketball.
They use a 1-2-2.
Get the ball in the middle.
Kareem Cubbins out front, picked up by McAllister. Greer. Give and go, and he went out of bounds. He had stepped over the end line before he came back in to get the return pass.
Here it is again now. Watch David Greer. See now he goes out of bounds. Can't get back in. He's out of bounds as he touches the basketball.
Turnover is coming up with a steal as Cobbins. Weatherspoon, the one-hander off the glass. He scored the first 9 points in Westinghouse semifinal win over Taft. So the first points on the board in the ball game after 7 missed field goal attempts for both teams.
That basket number 20, Kevin Jones.
They tried a little high-low, but it's intercepted by Greer.
That basket number 20, Travis Weatherspoon.
Just about 2 minutes gone of the first period. Quarterfinal game number 2. The winner will play Proviso East in the first semifinal tomorrow. Greer from the corner, a 2-pointer.
David Greer, I tell you what, he may be the unsung hero in the Chicago Public League. He's quiet, boy, but he gets the job done.
The steal. Garris will take it all the way for the one-hand stuff.
Boy, one thing about Garris, that he plays defense. He's so quick. He's lightning quick, and he'll steal an inbounds pass at the fraction of a second. There's Garris.
Both teams going with 1-2-2 full-court presses. Slithering it inside. Nicely Warren Brookson for the first 2 of the ball game for the Tomcats. But quickly down court, Weatherspoon was fouled from behind by McAllister.
Yeah, McAllister just got a little piece of Weatherspoon, and you look at McAllister, they have him listed at 5'7", 135. I don't know. Now here's Garris, though. Garris in the passing lane, he's so quick. He goes up for the slam dunk. This young man is just lightning quick. You have to be aware of Garris on defense as well as offense.
Offensively, he gets criticized for taking some unorthodox shots, but Roy says, I don't worry about the shots he takes. What are good shots for him may not be good for somebody else.
Well, you know, he's a little flashy, but he gets the job done.
There he is trying to do the job again. No. Greer on the offensive boards. It won't go in, but Westinghouse right now ruling the boards, but the foul will go to Billups coming over the back.
Corey Billups on the back. He'll pick up his first personal foul as you take a look at Roy Kendati.
The Warriors had to survive 2 harrowing ball games last weekend at the Pavilion in Chicago in the Public League Finals. You and I were there. They barely survived a strong bid from Taft. And then, of course, they knocked off King.
Yeah. Well, when you get out of the Chicago Public League, a lot of people think you may be the best team in the state. So when you get down to Champaign, everybody's gunning for you.
Which is a bit of a change of a role for Westinghouse because they were an underdog in the playoffs. Nice move to the baseline. Tyrone Williams getting his first 2 of the ball game. And it is a 6-4 ball game. And the Warriors turn it over as Weatherspoon couldn't come down with the pass.
Officials.
4 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the opening quarter here at quarterfinal game number 2. It's a 2-point ball game. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. Tom Stalker and Kenny McReynolds back with you. Take a look. Aurora East, not ranked at all in regular season play. 5 of the last 8 years, been in the final 16. Westinghouse 8th in the AP poll and making their 3rd trip to the Assembly Hall, but their first in 11 years. 6-4 ball game. East Aurora with a chance to tie. As Talley clears it out front. McAllister.
Boy, he's quick.
Boy, he got around Garris quickly. Missing from the corner was Tyrone Aiken. And the loose rebound to Weatherspoon. But he has it stripped away. Nice steal by McAllister. Aiken going to the hoop. Pulls up, yes.
See, that's a smart move by Aiken to pull up. And where he did, if we get a travel on the Westinghouse and another turnover, I think it's smart. Well, you saw when Aiken pulled it up so he wouldn't draw the charge.
Roy Candati says the first few minutes of this ball game will be a big indication. And early, they had a chance to blow it wide open against the Tomcats. The Tomcats have brought right back. They're even, have a chance for their first lead of the ball game here about halfway through the first quarter.
You know, that was the 4th turnover by Westinghouse.
Aiken couldn't get inside, and Williams found a defender in his face. Here's McAllister from the top of the key. And the long rebound to Kawan Garris.
Nice pass.
Pushes it up ahead. The touch pass to Greer for the lay-in. Cobbins to Greer. Greer with 4, and it's 8-6 Westinghouse. They break the pressure. Tyrone Williams will set it up half court. Now as McAllister has it out front. Westinghouse still, you see, in a zone. Going baseline, Tyrone Williams lost the ball, and it's taken away by Cobbins.
And the Warriors come down court. They don't waste any time coming down. Look at Garris. Little showboat right there.
A little showtime early in the first quarter here.
That's fine if you advance the basketball. Though.
Almost a bad pass, but Weatherspoon got it back. Missed the shot, the rebound, Fred Johnson. Williams back out front to Aiken. McAllister on the three-point line. Yes!
They gave him 2. I guess he had a foot on the line.
They're smack dab onside the line and got the body English to help it go down. 8-8 the score. The last touch by East Aurora along the sidelines as now you start seeing the Tomcat substitution as they bring in Jones, bring back in Brookson, and they're also going to bring in Alex Donaldson. They throw 9 bodies at you.
Boy, it looks like a hockey team changing on the fly. I mean, these guys just jump back in like a hockey team.
They start coming over the boards, head for cover. 8-8 score, just under 3 minutes for the first period. Greer from 20 feet, no.
Boy, great positioning, though.
Terrence Nicholas was inside, was tied up for the hell ball. And the possession arrow will give the ball to Westinghouse.
Boy, that's good inside position by Terrence Nicholas. One thing about rebounding, if you get a good position, you should be able to get a couple of rebounds.
And they do have the size advantage here against East Aurora. Garris pulls up as he went alongside Donaldson.
See, if you let Garris drive, you're asking for trouble. You know, he can hit a jump shot, but this is what he does so well. He can put the ball on the floor and initiate contact, as you see right here. This young man can go left, he can go right into the paint. He does that so well. He loves to drive. If you let him drive, you're asking for trouble.
Garris, you see, a 78% free throw shooter, and he makes his first attempt. The free throw line is where he can really hurt you. It's Garris at 27 against King, but 14 came from the free throw line, hitting 9 of 10 in the fourth quarter. He has 4, and it's a 10-8 Westinghouse lead.
Here's your four-court pressure by Westinghouse, but now you have to drop back.
From the wing, Savage going to the hoop, and he draws the foul. And he'll go to the line and shoot.
Well, Savage got the ball on the wing, made a little fake there, a little stutter step. Let's watch the little fake a little earlier there. He made a little fake, goes to the line. Actually, he was hit by a couple of men.
They charge the foul to Greer, his first, team second.
Kevin Savage for 2.
Bonus in effect on the 7th team foul. Flat free throw there for Kevin Savage, and you can see why he shoots 56%.
Yeah, he needs a little bit of an arc right there.
Savage, a great leaper, very quick, but very slender at 135 pounds. He gets knocked around a little bit inside as he gets the free throw.
Actually, if you look at the Aurora basketball team, a lot of skinny guys out there. Not a lot of beef.
Long pass, and Weatherspoon can't reach and bring it down, and it's another Westinghouse turnover.
Boy, turnover. That's 6 now for Westinghouse, and we still have 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
And they're turning it over, breaking the pressure, trying to work the sidelines, using the long sideline pass. Savage tried to get the pass, got it back, and gets the roll. Make that tally on the bucket, and it's 11-10. East Aurora, its first lead. The pass broken up by Donaldson, and here come the Tomcats. Donaldson inside to Brookson, the turnarounder, no. And losing it out of bounds was Savage, and he was right there underneath the basket.
He was right there underneath the basket. Savage just couldn't handle the basketball. The Warriors of Westinghouse really come away with a break there because East Aurora really should have come away with 2 points.
You can sense East Aurora's confidence gaining by the moment.
And see, I think Westinghouse, to me, they look a little tentative so far.
In the backcourt, that's Ronald Dooling, a sophomore, nearly threw it away. He just got it to Cobbins.
But see, this double team pressure seems to be hurting Westinghouse. Garris misses everything.
Greer gets it back and was fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Boy, I tell you, look at Greer. He just misses everything there. The Westinghouse Warriors, they are not playing the type of basketball, you know, they play in Chicago Public League. There's an air ball, but just a lot of good hustle. And now Westinghouse Greer will be at the line now for 2 free throws as he was hit going for the layup.
A minute 36 left to go in the first period. The Tomcats leading by a point. David Greer, 58% free throw shooter, all Chicago area, will go to the free throw line. Greer had 19 in the Public League Finals against King. He is signed to go to Weber State, and that may be one of the recruiting steals of the year. Juggling it on the baseline was Nicholas, but he bounced it over the end line.
Good hustle, though, by Nicholas and Westinghouse. Now we have the trap, and I got the basketball.
But you don't have any eligibility left.
No eligibility left, so we'll give it back.
You have no eligibility. I had no ability.
Boy, really a sloppy basketball game. That's the 5th turnover for East Aurora.
Westinghouse with the ball. That's Kiwan Garris. And it's Doolin. Under a minute and a half for the first period. We're deadlocked at 11.
Okay, zone defense now by Aurora, so now they come back out man-to-man. Okay.
Cobbins goes baseline, fires the jumper over Savage. No, rebound Greer. And he had no trouble getting that offensive board.
Boy, David Greer is just such a smart basketball player. Garris makes a really, really dumb foul. I mean, there's no need for that foul because Savage was by Garris and he reaches, actually he had to lunge out and reach and foul him, and that's no need for that.
Neither team in a critical foul situation team-wise, each team with 3. That's the first on Kiwan Garris. 13-11 Westinghouse. Savage from the baseline. Offensive rebound for Talley, and it's taken away. On the run, Ronald Doolin. Garris wraps it around, and he lost it out of bounds.
Lost the basketball. And you know what? I said it in the first game, too. I think when you play with the new basketball, a guy like Garris that likes to do so many things with a basketball would have trouble handling.
Garris is 1 for 3 from the field. Now he is an extremely streaky shooter. Oh, having a notion was Talley, but he thought better of it. And they'll set it up for half court. Jones over to Donaldson. 33 seconds now. You see the clock in the corner. Stolen by Garris. But quickly getting back defensively with Jones. Garris put it high off the glass, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Boy, we've talked so much about Garris. This young man, not just offensively, but defensively in the passing lane. Now watch the move. Cups the basketball, uses his body, and he's fouled by Jones. Boy, but just an outstanding play by Garris. Not just on the offensive end, but more impressively on the defensive end. This young man plays the passing lanes as well as anyone I've ever seen.
The free throw good for Kiwan Garris as he was 3 for 3 from the line. Now he has 5 points. Kiwan Garris, Roy Condati says, is very coachable. He had talk about his streaks. He had 26 of his 28 points against Orr in the second half. 4-point Westinghouse lead.
Well, East Aurora, they do such a great job breaking the press.
Savage couldn't get the offensive boards. Getting it back was Fred Johnson and Wooden rolling for him. Dueling with 10 seconds. Breaks the pressure. Oh, he had a man open underneath, and Garris couldn't hold on to it. And they find it down court to Aiken, and they get it just before the buzzer. I thought it was a desperation shot. It may have been. It turned out to be a great pass to Tyrone Aiken, who picks up his 3rd field goal.
Great pass.
Let's see if we can take a look at that again. It may have been a desperation there by Kevin Jones.
Actually, Jones took the shot way too soon, but just look, all of a sudden you get a man right there, and Aiken says, hey, I'll take it, and lays it up and in.
Reminiscent of the Houston Cougars in 1982 against North Carolina State against Houston. After the first quarter, 2-point ball game. One of your network sponsors.
McAllister and number 40, Warren Brookston back in the game. As we start the second quarter, East Aurora possession.
Take a look now at the finalists in the slam dunk competition, part of the big happening in Class A. Tyrone Nesby, Kevin Ross, and you also see the AA finalists as we are back to action here early in the second quarter. For East Aurora, missing the shot, Kevin Jones, and the rebound, Kewan Garris. He gets the break, 3-on-2.
Nice
and
crossover.
Went by McAllister. McAllister says, hey, I didn't touch him.
Well, the official said that he did, and you have to give Garris credit for a beautiful crossover dribble. This young man, boy, when he gets the basketball time, he just shoots. You know, he puts the turbochargers on, and this young man just, he's gone.
Now also, did you see how Westinghouse filled the lanes on that break? Textbook style. Westinghouse leading by 2. Garris had to leap the ball in that pass from out front. It's tipped out. Dooling gets it. Dooling down low to Greer. Reverse layup, no.
Gotta dunk those, David.
Nicholas had it knocked away. Cobbins pulls up. Yes.
Boy, tough shot by Cobbins.
First 2 of the games for Kareem Cobbins, and it's 17-13, Westinghouse. Into the front court, McAllister. To the baseline. Oh, Aiken had a notion. Threw it away as he was trying to get it to McAllister.
Boy, that was a football pass by Aikens trying to get the ball to McAllister. He just rifled that pass.
Weatherspoon and Phillips check back in for Westinghouse. And now there's Alex Donaldson coming in for the Tomcats of East Aurora. 4-point Westinghouse lead. The game, but technically has been less than perfect. But it's close here with lots of time left here in the second quarter. Quarterfinal game number 2 from the Assembly Hall. The winner here will go on to meet Proviso East. Greer from the corner rattles it home.
Boy, just had his foot on the 3-point line. He'll come away with 2, but David Greer having an outstanding first half for Westinghouse.
He's carrying their scoring load. He has 9 of their 19, but they get the ball quickly down inside to Fred Johnson, and he is fouled.
Fred Johnson pushed a little bit in the back by Corey Billups. Here's a pass down there to Johnson now. Right there, Billups with a little push right in the back.
So that will put Fred Johnson, a 6'3 senior, at the line. He's a 64% foul shooter. Had a great super sectional game against Friend and hits the free throw for his first point of the ball game. Johnson is their best inside defensive player. Westinghouse by 5 on the break. Greer finishes off, lays it in.
Boy, David Greer gets up and down the floor so well. That's 11 points now for Greer, but he runs the floor like a deer.
21-14. Weaving through to the front court, Jones. He can't get the bounce. And in the battle for the rebound, a foul called, and it may be against Corey Billups. Phillips came over the top of Jones and picks up the foul, which is his 3rd and the 5th for Westinghouse.
That's very tough now because now Billups may have to go sit down as Kevin Jones just goes through a seam, saw an opening and took advantage of it.
Just about 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. McAllister was in midair and dumps it off where Jones came up short from the corner. Kewan Garris.
Pass.
And Kareem Cobbins gets the pass and lays it in. He has 4. And a backcourt foul on the full court pressure. Looks like Weatherspoon picked it up.
Boy, watch the pass by Garris. Looks left, decides to pass it with the left hand. Hits a streaky man going towards the basket. Cobbins comes away with the 2 points. Just an outstanding pass by Garris. Look at the fast break points. The Warriors of Westinghouse, they love to get up and down the floor.
But really, for the Tomcats to be successful, they needed to reverse that. They score off their pressure.
Exactly.
Here's Donaldson, an air ball. And it's out of bounds.
Heads up play by Garris.
Yeah, Garris knocked it out of bounds off of Savage.
That's the old schoolyard play. Just bounce it off your man.
Takes great body control to do that.
It really does.
Aiken comes back in for East Aurora.
So look at Garris. Said, get out the way. Get out of my way. Look at the rebound. Westinghouse just dominating it.
Out of bounds. Last touch by Warren Brookson. Those two statistics you just saw are not good for East Aurora because they know they're going to have trouble staying on the boards with Westinghouse, and they need to score off their breaks. They trail now by 9, 23-14, almost turned over. Scrap for the ball at midcourt. Weatherspoon, it's broken up by McAllister. Phillips gets it back, stolen back by McAllister. And down court quickly, Aiken.
What a hand
away by Garris. Oh, some quick hands.
Boy, it was lightning quick.
Quick hands.
Just a quick hand by Garris.
All over the court.
Here it is again now. This ball comes right down court. Now watch Garris just come in. Nothing but ball.
They slap the rock away, and it'll be Tomcats' ball as Mike McAllister, the 5'7" senior, finds an open man. Savage made him pay.
When you leave Savage open like that, you're asking for trouble.
Their second leading scorer gets his first field goal. He has 3. Pass too high for Garris, and here comes East Aurora.
Westinghouse has to do a better job handling the press.
Oh, McAllister threw it behind Talley. Tomcats kept it alive, but coming away with it is Nicholas. 23-16 Westinghouse. Garris open for 3. No, off the heel. 4.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Kareem Cobbins out front. Pounded by McAllister. David Greer. And the Warriors want a timeout. 4 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Westinghouse leads by 7. One of your network sponsors, the Dairy Farm Families of Illinois and Wisconsin. Tom Stalker, Kenny McReynolds with you as our continuing coverage of the IHSA AA Finals comes your way. 4:15 to go, second quarter. Westinghouse with the ball, and right now a lead of 23-16 as they have outscored East Aurora 8-3 so far in this period. Garris takes it into traffic, gets the bounce, he'll count the bucket, and he'll go to the line to shoot for 3.
Well, I think it's very important off of a timeout to come away with a point or 2. You set up a good play. There's Garris with that quick first step. Once he gets by you, you're asking for trouble. He's bumped with the body and gets the great body language as Brooks is called with the foul. Boy, but once Garris gets by you, you're asking for trouble. You need weak side help.
Garris, a second-team All-Stater, missed the free throw. His first miss in 5 attempts. 4 minutes to go. Full court pressure by Westinghouse. McAllister just beats the 10-second count, and they're going to call Garris for blocking.
Now, that's his second personal. I'm sure Coach Kendotti will let him stay in and play the final 3 minutes and 56 seconds.
And it also puts the Tomcats into the bonus.
That's the 17 foul.
And that's one way that Westinghouse doesn't want to see the Tomcats get back in the ballgame with the clock stop. McAllister getting his first point of the ballgame. McAllister against Naperville North at 12 points, 7 assists, 3 steals. He was all over the place. He led the Upstate 8 Conference in steals, and he has averaged 14 points a game the last 3 ball games after averaging 3 to 4 points most of the year.
Well, he knows when the big games come, he has to produce.
Greer's pass broken up, but it winds up in the hands of Cobbins, and Greer follows the miss. Greer with 13.
David Greer dominating the backboards. You know, he has 5 rebounds, all offensive.
Oh, almost turned over as they had McAllister trapped in the corner, but the ball wound up out of bounds after Westinghouse stole it. And right now, the Tomcats are having a lot of trouble with that full-court pressure. That time, though, they do break the pressure. As out front, Kevin Jones has it with 3.5 minutes for the first half.
Okay, the Warriors back in the zone. Now the Tomcats have to realize what kind of defense Westinghouse is in and run a good play. There's your double screen. That should be a good shot.
Aiken misses the 17-footer. Rebound, Kewan Garris. Garris weaves all the way, dishes off. Here's Cobbins.
Boy, look at Greer.
Greer scores. He's had what a first half this guy has had.
That's his 6th offensive rebound. And as a team, Westinghouse has 10 offensive boards. Watch number 23 on your screen, David Greer. Great positioning right there. Gets the ball, doesn't put it to the floor, keeps it in a good position so the little man can't reach and hit it. And look at the reaction. He's happy. David Greer, what a ball game. 15 points and 6 rebounds, all on the offensive end so far in the first half.
Meanwhile, Garris, their leading scorer, has but 6 in the first half, only 1 field goal, but that's the way it's been for Westinghouse this year. When one of them is scoring, the other isn't. The other one is picking up the slack.
And here's the double team by Westinghouse.
McAllister gives him the release and gets to the front court to Johnson. Savage inside for 2.
Nice jump step by Savage. Low jump step move, then he floats to the basket.
He has 5. You see Westinghouse by 9 with under 3 minutes for the second quarter. Garris posting it down to Greer. Oh, he was double teamed physically. Battling inside Nicholas. Loose ball McAllister. McAllister can't get the shot to go, but he will shoot 2 at the line. As Greer may have picked up the foul, also down there was Dooling. It was Dooling who gets the foul.
Roy Condotti's not a happy man because he's saying his man was mugged on the offensive end, and then you get McAllister. Boy, what a nice quick move down by McAllister. Steals the inbounds pass, comes down, and the whistle blows. I didn't see the foul, but the whistle blew.
So McAllister gets 2, and he is 3 for 3 from the line so far in the ballgame. You see his numbers for the year.
Well, he's all arms and legs, isn't he?
7-point ball game, as now he'll head to the bench as Tyrone Williams, the 6-foot sophomore, comes in. Williams averaging under 4 points a ball game. (29-22).
1-2-2 press. Get the ball to the middle. Now just turn around, pass it or shoot it. Bring it back to Garris.
Garris from the free throw line hangs. No. Rebound cleared out of there by Savage. We approach the 2-minute mark for the first half.
Westinghouse going back in the traditional zone. Aurora needs good ball movement. Attack that zone. Move the basketball.
Savage from 17. No. Rebound Westinghouse. Cobbins is tripped and goes down, and he'll go to the line and shoot. It looks like Johnson got him from behind.
Well, Aurora's only shooting 32% so far. They've gotten a couple of good shots, but they just can't get it. And here's the one that misses, and now look to loose ball battle for it. Watch right here. Tripped up from behind. This Kareem Cobbins.
Johnson got his first foul, and Cobbins goes to the free throw line where he shoots 59% on the year. Cobbins a good offensive player, and Condotti says, I know he can play defense. Just when he feels like it sometimes. That's the problem, as he misses the free throw. Tomcats down by 7. On the baseline, Tyrone Williams. Nice move. No, couldn't finish off the play. Juwan Garris, 2-on-1.
Quick or what?
Garris gets it to go.
Well, if you don't stop Garris, you should just go coast to coast. Somebody has to step in and stop the basketball. You can't let a man go coast to coast.
Garris with 8, but only 2 field goals. Slipping inside Warren Brookson, but he was blocked and fouled. Nope, check that, lost the ball out of bounds. It'll still be Tomcat ball with 1:14 for the second quarter.
Yeah, Cobbins with a quick hand.
Kevin Jones in the air to Brookson. Won't bounce in for him. He gets it back. Again, he's denied. On the offensive boards, Tyrone Williams. They needed 3 chances, but they finally got it to go.
Well, you can't give a good team 3 chances at the basket. You're asking for trouble.
Under a minute. Garris quickly down to Greer underneath to Nicholas, and he missed the layup. But Greer followed it up and got the 2. Greer continues his great first half. He now has 17.
And he also has 7 offensive rebounds.
Going down low, Brookson, the one-hander, high off the glass. Nicholas clears the rebound out. Here's Dooling. Leading by 9, Westinghouse. That equals the Warriors' biggest lead.
And under 30 seconds time, they'll go for 1 shot. There's no question they'll go for 1 shot.
There was a while where East Aurora had a chance to get right back in it, but lightning quick, thanks mainly to Garrison Greer. All of a sudden now, a chance for a double-digit lead at halftime as we're under 10 seconds now.
And boy, if they go in double digits, it will be very difficult to come back. Missing the three is Cobbins. At the buzzer, no. And we have reached the end of the first half.
Chicago Westinghouse 33.
After the first half of quarterfinal game number 2, it's a 9-point ball game. Westinghouse probably would like to have that last possession back. I don't know whether the three was the shot they wanted. They're not known as a three-point shooting team.
They're not known as a three-point shooting team. They didn't get a good shot off to end the half. They have a 9-point lead. Boy, but if they could go down 11 points, it really would have been great.
Let's go down to our colleague, Joe Passion, who has Scott Martin.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. You go into the locker room. You stayed with it, but we've seen it streaky. What will be your speech at halftime?
Well, we're getting hammered on the boards, and I said before we started, if we don't control the boards, we're in trouble. And if that doesn't change in the second half, forget about this game.
Is there a lot of pressure you bring back in the second half? Do you feel your kids have to jump all over?
Well, we saved some stuff. We just showed one press the whole half, so we'll come out and give a different look.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Scott. Have a great second half. Did you hear that, folks? He saved some. So that means we'll see East Aurora do some different things in the second half. Back over to center court to Tom and Kenny.
So we're at halftime of quarterfinal game number 2. The Warriors of Westinghouse lead 33-24. One of your network sponsors is True Value Hardware Stores. We're back at the Assembly Hall. Tom Stalker and Kenny McReynolds with you as it's right now Westinghouse leading by the score of 33-24. Before the ball game, Kenny, we talked about the fact that the quickness really was a factor for both ball clubs. They both have it, but that the height might be the difference, and that has been a big difference, a big edge on the boards for Westinghouse.
Well, you look at the rebounding edge, Westinghouse just dominating the backboards, especially David Greer. He has 7 offensive rebounds, second chance points, and Westinghouse just dominating the game in the paint. East Aurora, well, the coach said he saved some for the second half. I think he'll need it, especially the shooting. They're shooting only 28%. They've been getting some pretty good shots, but the shots just won't fall so far.
I think a big difference has also been the fact that East Aurora through the year has been able to score off their full court press. They haven't really been able to do that today.
No, they really haven't. Let's face it, the Westinghouse Warriors have done an outstanding job handling East Aurora with that full court pressure. So I look for East Aurora to maybe crank it up just a little bit in the second half.
They're down by 9. They've got to pull something out quickly or else the season comes to a quick end. Here at quarterfinal game number 2, it's the Warriors looking at the Tomcats 33-24. We will return after these local messages.
Back at Assembly Hall, there you see our score. Westinghouse in the locker room with a 9-point break here at halftime of our second Class AA quarterfinal game. We'll have 2 more coming tonight. We've talked about many great players who have been throughout this tournament. One of those players has some great blood in his genes. We're talking about our halftime feature on this Tournament of Champion page of Tim Russell.
Anyone who has been around Class A basketball in Illinois has their own stories about fathers coaching their sons. 2 years ago at Camp Point Central High School in Western Illinois, Paul Russell took the head coaching job. His son Tim was going into his junior season as the best player on the team. The younger Russell would finish up his senior season as the Panthers' second leading scorer and assist man in school history. Camp Point has never won a regional championship, and although they were seeded first in the Payson Seymour Regional, they were bounced out in the first round by Quincy Notre Dame this year. Tim thought he could lead the team into the sectionals and fulfill a dream his father had when he graduated from Camp Point High in 1965.
We were beat out by Quincy High School my senior year. We were seeded second in the regional, and they finished second in the state that year. And on a good night, I think we could have beat them. We had a real good team my senior year out here.
You may remember Paul from the years he spent pitching in the major leagues with the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians. Tim is also a pitcher on the Panthers baseball team. He's also quite a golfer, winning an individual sectional title his senior year. Throw in a grade point average that is closer to 4.0 than bark is to a tree, and you've got a student athlete that anyone's father would be proud of.
He's a real good kid. He's bright. He scored a 29 on his ACT, and when we got that thing back, they said he could go to any college he wanted to in the United States, you know, from his ACT scores. And
that's a big part. I'll go home and I'll study and get the job done in the classroom, because that's what you have to do. And that really makes you more marketable to college coaches when you can go and they know they're not going to have to worry about you flunking out of class or not going to class, and that really makes it a plus for you.
The younger Rushell wants to follow his dad into coaching. At 6'6" and getting bigger all the time, Rushell's inside-outside game will allow him to play college ball. He can play all 5 positions. That experience and 18 years under the same roof with a guy who knows the ropes should help Tim reach his goal.
Get an insight on what the coach goes through after a game, because like with Coach Shields, you'd go home after the game if we lost, and you'd show up for practice 8 in the morning, and he was just coach again. But if I'd have gone home with Coach Shields like I go home with Dad every night, I'd know that he was up pacing the floor and wondering, even if it wasn't his fault, wondering what he could have done differently to make the game turn out better for you. You really get a feeling on what's going through his mind.
He'll sit down in his room at night and come out and say, "Dad, let's try this," you know, and he'll have a play drawn up, and he's got a real good mind for that kind of things, and I think it'd be a shame if he didn't end up coaching someday.
You know about Tim's GPA, but Paul had his own grading system on the court, one that was tougher than any professor his son will ever face.
I never graded him very high because I always wanted him to improve, you know, work on things that he hadn't done well that night. And he once asked me, he says, "Is there any way I can ever get an A out of you?"
Did you ever get an A?
No, never did. I was always happy to get a B or a B minus, because those were the best grades I'd ever get. If I played bad, I'd get a D or an F. If I got a B, I knew I played pretty well that night.
I don't think there's a team, there may not be a team in the state that he couldn't start for. And, I really believe that there's not a team in the state that he wouldn't start for.
This is Rick Thurtle reporting for the IHSA Network.
Well, to give you an idea how well Tim does play, he was here on Thursday night competing in the three-point showdown contest and slam dunk. We had all sorts of great players from throughout the state, and he proved he is one of those great players in Tim Rushell. And we will be back with the second half of this Class AA quarterfinal matchup as Westinghouse leads by 9 at the break. We'll be back with more from Assembly Hall after this timeout and a word from our local stations.
Welcome back at the Assembly Hall. The second battle for a berth in tomorrow's Final Four right now, led by Westinghouse Warriors by the score of 33-24. Tom Stocker, Kenny McReynolds with you. And two ball clubs here in this game, of course, that like a lot of up-tempo, so we've had a lot of end-to-end action. But first of all, before we talk about the first half and look at highlights, let's go down to Joe Passion, who has, of course, the coach for Westinghouse, Roy Condotti.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. Roy, give us an idea what your halftime pep talk was all about.
Well, we want to do three things. We want to do a better job running our half-court offense. We thought they spread us out from sideline to sideline. We don't want to do that the second half. We want to take better care of the basketball when we're pressing. We want to cut the sideline off and try to trap a little bit more in the forecourt. And finally, we need to eliminate some of their second shots that they're getting on the offensive end.
Thanks, Roy. Have a great second half. Back over to center court to Tom and Kenny.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. Let's take a look at action from this first half. Again, a 9-point lead for Westinghouse.
Well, the man that makes Westinghouse go, of course, is Garris. Garris, beautiful defense in the passing lane, gets the steal and the dunk for the 2 points. David Greer also played a great game for the Westinghouse Warriors. Great passing right there. That's big-time passing. They just touched the ball on the fast break. But now for Aurora, you also got to talk about Tally. They've run the court very well also. Little off the Westinghouse man right to Tally. He comes away with 2 points. Boy, but Garris is so quick. When you let Garris drive, you're asking for trouble. Just beautiful body movement, and of course, he's a happy young man. Kind of flashy, boy, but can he play? I think the player of the game so far has to be Greer. David Greer just dominating the offensive backboards, gets the 2 points there off the offensive board. This young man having an outstanding first half.
Coming up the second half from the Assembly Hall, we will return after these local messages.
Chicago Westinghouse possession. And as you can see, we're underway in the third quarter. You haven't missed a thing. It's still 33-24 on the offensive boards. Weatherspoon couldn't get it to go. Here's Nicholas with a one-hander that rims off, but he'll shoot at the line. Let's take a look at the first half stats brought to you by Milk. It does a body good, and by the people who produce milk, the dairy farm families of Illinois and Wisconsin.
Well, of course, the key right there, you look at Aurora East, only 28%, and Westinghouse shooting 43%. Look at the rebounds, 27-16. And, of course, turnovers, a sloppy basketball game, 10 for the Warriors, 8 for East Aurora.
The foul was on Brookson, and going to the line will be the other number 40, Terrence Nicholas, the 6'4" senior. Only 53% from the foul line on the year, and he clanged that one. Nicholas at the free throw line for the first time in the ballgame. Clanged them both. Still no scoring in the third quarter. They trap him, and it's taken away by Cobbett. Nicholas out of control as he was tied up by Jones, who was sitting on the deck right down beneath him. And it goes out of bounds. They say it went off of Jones' body.
Well, off Jones's body. This has been a very, very sloppy basketball game. No one can control the ball.
Here's Garris altering his shot in midair, but it won't go in off the glass. And coming out of there, Tyrone Aiken. McAllister
Aiken wheels inside.
Nice
Left-hander, no. Oh, what a pretty move. He couldn't finish the play. And the foul will be called on Brookson going to the boards.
Well, the moves look nice, but you have to be able to complete the baskets. Nice ball movement, big time, beautiful spin, but you have to complete it. As you see, reaching over is Warren Brookson.
A minute and a half of action in the third quarter. Still no scoring for the period. Pass tipped in midcourt. Nicholas comes up to get it. Finds Garris, who's all by himself, and he lays it in. Garris with 10, only his third field goal. And he averages 22.3 a ball game. That's the biggest lead so far, 11, 35, 24. Aiken quickly defended by Greer. Now they get Aiken open. He'll shoot the three. No. Rebound. Weatherspoon. Westinghouse leading by 11. They can be a little more patient offensively.
Oh, yeah. They can take their time, get a good shot. That is a tough shot.
He got the bounce. Yeah. You were about to say that's a terrible shot until all of a sudden it bounced in good. Garris is that kind of a player, though. There's a foul in midcourt. He's that kind of a player. It's one of those, oh, no. Great shot.
Oh, no, no, no. Great shot. Now, that's Garris's third personal foul also. Let's see how long Roy Condati lets him stay in.
He ran into foul trouble in the semifinals against Taft. In fact, he was on the bench when the game ended. He had fouled out of the ball game. They bring Weatherspoon out and bringing Dooling in for Westinghouse. McAllister quickly defended by Dooling. Westinghouse with that zone defense. Williams, a little behind the back flip to get it out of trouble. Williams a step to his left, threw up a brick.
Watch Garris fly.
Garris 4 on 2, and it goes in.
Oh, what a pass.
Was bumped, and he got it to go. But that was all set up by that young man there.
Oh, what a pass by Garris. Coming down, switches hands, looks one way, passes the other, gets it to Cobbins for the layup. Just a beautiful pass and great execution by the Westinghouse Warriors. And as you said earlier, they really do an outstanding job filling the lanes for Garris, because you know when he's coming down the middle, anything can happen.
The free throw rims in for the three-point play. And we've got a timeout on the floor here in third quarter action. It is a 16-point Westinghouse lead. One of your network sponsors is Radisson Suites.
Nobody else sees the world through your eyes. Yours is a style that you just can't disguise. Your whole approach is an original one. So I get a room when you can get a rider, son.
Tomorrow after game one, you'll see the finalists in Double-A three-point shooting, the three-point showdown. And there you see the finalists, Corey Shelby, Ryan Gear, Quincy Trice, and there's Corey Shelby. Take a look at some of the action from yesterday's qualifying as he just buries them in from the top of the key from Joliet West. Back to live action, 4:41 to go, third period, 16-point lead, and Westinghouse gets another steal. Cobbins to Greer, but he loses the basketball to Tyrone Williams. East Aurora has gone 3.5 minutes here in the third quarter without scoring. McAllister trying to take care of that, way short on the three.
Missed everything.
Quickly down court, they press it down to Garris. Make it to Greer, back out front now to Ronald Dooling. Ball tapped out front by Johnson, but Kareem Cobbins, as we are 4 minutes through the third quarter. Quick pass underneath. Garris had to reverse his shot because he was in too deep. But he was fouled, and I believe it was Tyrone Williams getting late to defend him to pick up the foul.
Westinghouse, they do such a great job moving the basketball. Look at that. Just a rifle bullet shot in there by Terrence Nicholas to Garris down low. Watch the pass. Over the shoulder. bullet past Garrett's down low double team, but he was smart enough to put the ball up to get the 2 free throws.
Williams got his second foul, 4th team foul already for East Aurora. And that'll put David Greer at the line. Greer 1 for 3. Now 2 for 4 at the line this afternoon. Greer with an amazing first half, 17 points, now with 18 for the ball game.
But one thing people should remember about Garris, he's only a junior. He'll be back next season. He'll be very highly recruited in Chicago.
Out front with the basketball, Kevin Jones. McAllister got himself open. The baseline jumper a little strong. Juwan Garris the rebound. Up ahead to Dooling, and Dooling's shot goes.
Garris sees the floor so well. Just an outstanding pass once again by Garris.
20-point lead, 44-24. East Aurora has still yet to score in the third period. They trailed 33-24 at the end of the first half. And we've got 3:13 now left to go here in this third period. And getting the 3 was Jones. First 3-point of the game, and they went nearly 5 minutes. The bucket coming with 3:08 remaining in the period. Greer with a great first tab. Won't get the roll there. McAllister comes out of there with it. They push it on the break, but the pass too far for Tony Talley to chase down on the break, and Westinghouse gets it back.
Well, Tomcats can ill afford turnovers with this situation right now. You're trailing 44-27. Look at the fast break points. Westinghouse, we said in the open, they'd like to get up and down the floor. 27 fast break points.
And it's only 9 off the fast break for East Aurora. It's a big reason why they trail by a bunch here in the third period. Because they've lived with the break too, scoring off transition. But this combination of quickness and size for Westinghouse has been too much for them so far. No problem with the full court pressure there.
Look at the passing. Look at the movement.
Richard Bibbs couldn't finish off the play, and in the battle for the rebound, a foul. It may be Greer coming over the back. Or it hit the support of the basket. That's what happened. Out of bounds, and East Aurora ball.
You don't see many high school basketball teams pass the ball better than Westinghouse.
Very fundamentally sound ball club. Savage, yes, a 2-pointer. Savage with 7. Through the hands of Richard Bibbs, and East Aurora will get it back. This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the written consent of Cost Broadcast Sales Incorporated is prohibited. 15-point lead for Westinghouse. East Aurora now with the basketball under 2 minutes for the third period. You see it all on your screen. Tyrone Aiken over to Savage. Kevin Savage moving to his left, a shot off the iron. And the boards continue to be dominated by Westinghouse.
40-20. Westinghouse with the board advantage.
That's just exactly what Scott Martins was afraid of. Hanging in the lane was Dooling. Couldn't get the foul, couldn't get the shot. Aiken pushes the ball down court. From the top of the key, Kevin Jones. He's getting hot. Quickly, he has picked up 2 3-pointers.
Now East Aurora with the four-court press, trying to get some steals.
But a foul called instead. The foul going to Savage as he picks up his first and the 15th foul of the half for the Tomcats.
All of a sudden now, Kevin Jones is getting the Tomcats back into this basketball game. Just creeping and getting back.
And with that defense, if they can get it into gear again, that's the kind of a defense that can quickly get you back in a ball game.
Let's see if Westinghouse will hold for the final shot.
Under a minute now. Westinghouse by 12 here late in the third quarter at the Assembly Hall. Quarterfinal game number 2. The winner will play Proviso East in the semifinals tomorrow. Garris, a little out of control, is able to get it to Cobbins and might have got away with a walk. Or carrying the basketball. And that time the foul is Savage. Bumping Dooling, trying to get the steal. Instead, the reach-in foul.
Those are the kind of fouls that would drive a coach crazy. I mean, there's no need for that one, you know. It's obvious that Westinghouse is stalling, and you don't want to waste a team foul or also pick up a personal foul.
Well, he probably thought he was so close to midcourt. If he gets the steal, he's got to get a contested layup. As the ball stripped cleanly away from Richard Bibbs as he was going in the air. Make that from Greer as he was going in the air for the shot. And it'll be out of bounds, Westinghouse. Traveling as the quick inbounds pass to Greer as he pirouetted beautifully underneath, but forgot to dribble the basketball. 17.6 seconds left.
Block. That's 4 on Garris.
Now there is a bonehead foul.
Yeah. Well, when you have 3 personals, there's no need to have him pick up a block foul like that. I'm actually surprised that Coach Kendati even had Garris in there.
Those are the cheap fouls at the end of periods that do drive coaches bonkers.
Right. Well, I'm sure Roy just forgot to take Garris out once they lost control of the basketball with 17 seconds remaining.
In the backcourt with a basketball, Kevin Jones up ahead to Savage. With 8 seconds, he's fouled, and that time it's Greer that picks up the foul. That's his second.
That's his second as they try to double team the basketball.
That's his second personal foul, third team foul on Westinghouse.
You see, I think if you're Westinghouse now, you got to remember, number 1, time is running out in the period. Number 2, you're up by 12 points. You don't have to
press and you don't have to foul. And I think number 3, you have to remember in the Chicago Public League, that's not a foul. Downstate, they call them really, really close.
Now, let me translate what you're saying there.
In the Chicago Public League, that is not a foul.
I got you. No, you're right.
They let them play. In state tournaments, officials call them close.
Clanging the 3 off the side of the backboard, Kevin Jones, as the third quarter comes to an end. 1 quarter left in this quarterfinal ball game. Westinghouse leads by 12, and one of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. This game summary is brought to you by the Toyota dealers of Illinois. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Aurora East struggling from the field, 28%, but came alive there at the end of the third period.
Yeah.
Let's go now as we go to our colleague, Joe Passion.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. With me is the Wilson Jet Ball. This is the ball that they're using for the tournament. Now, Kenny mentioned earlier in the first game. Now, you see the ball looks a little slippery and new. This is the ball that was used during the three-point showdown and the slam dunk contest. So these balls have been used and are true in this game. Back over to center court to Kenny.
Alrighty, as East Aurora goes hard to the boards. Brookson on the offensive boards. He has 4, and they're down by 10. And Westinghouse trying to quickly strike back. Greer tumbles hard to the deck, but he was fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line.
And now Westinghouse has their top gun, Garris, on the bench with 4 fouls. Now you look for David Greer to take control. Hey, a point about that basketball that was used in the first quarter. Was it used before the three-point and the slam dunk contest? If it was not, it is still a new basketball that is still very slippery. It takes a couple of months to break in a basketball.
David
okay,
Greer,
Joe?
Greer just below his season average of under 19 points a game, and he missed that free throw badly off the front of the iron. And Roy Condali says,
calm down.
Settle down.
See, Joe never played basketball, so he didn't know that it takes a while to break in a basketball.
Joe slam dunk, trick knee, half-court passion. He gets the second. An 11-point lead for Westinghouse as the Warriors put on the full-court pressure. Kevin Jones does a good job with the low dribble to the front court. He's open for three. No. As he was looking for his third of the ball game. East Aurora needs these first couple of moments there of the period to get back in striking distance. Weak side play there as Weatherspoon snuck in behind everybody, and Aiken had no choice but to foul.
See, look at Greer. Beautiful pass right there. And good head fake by Weatherspoon, and all of a sudden Aikens comes in with the personal foul. But you really have to give a great deal of credit to David Greer with the outstanding pass to Weatherspoon.
Alex Donaldson coming in, replacing Jones for the Tomcats. Weatherspoon missing the free throw. Westinghouse has been a good free throw shooting team for the year. One out of two there for Weatherspoon.
They're only 10 out of 18 so far today. Free throw shooting may be a big story before this ball game is over.
Nearly stripped away. It was stripped away from Donaldson by Cobbins. And now Kareem Cobbins over to Greer for three. He can hit that shot on you. You think he's an inside player? No, sir. He can hit that outside shot.
Inside, outside shows what he's made of.
First three of the game for the Warriors as they now lead by 15. Yeah, just a little while ago, it was a 10-point ball game, and East Aurora had a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Now, all of a sudden, like that, they're up by 15.
With Garris on the bench.
But as long as one of those two, Garris or Greer, is out there, Westinghouse is still very, very dangerous. Aiken weaves his way to the front court. McAllister now out front with it. Westinghouse sitting back in the zone. Aiken got his man in the air. Nice step in, but he threw up an air ball. On the offensive boards, Alex Donaldson. His first two of the game.
One of the few offensive rebounds for East Aurora.
Greer changes hands, threw it up with a left hand and scored.
Oh, he's taking control.
Because he looks over there, he sees number 22 on the bench, and he has picked up where he has left off. Greer 10 of 17 from the field.
Here it is again. Greer goes to the inside, goes right, goes up with the left hand for the beautiful roll, but puts the ball on the floor. He's left-handed, but he can dribble, and he can go left or right. That time we saw he went to his right.
Again, a 15-point lead. East Aurora into the front court with Fred Johnson. Aiken for three, short. Greer comes out of there with a rebound. Cobbins had trouble with the dribble, gets the shot away. Greer on the offensive boards continues to dominate this game.
What can you say? David Greer again on the offensive boards. That's his 9th offensive rebound.
And I definitely got to think he is taking the lead now for our post-game player of the game honor.
Well, 25 points, 11 rebounds, 9 offensive bounds. I would think so.
East Aurora takes a timeout with 5:10 left in the fourth quarter. They trail 53-36. One of your network sponsors is the Dairy Farm Families of Illinois and Wisconsin. Back at the Assembly Hall, Tom Stalker, Kenny McReynolds, East Aurora here in the Elite Eight for the third time in 5 years. Westinghouse here in the Elite Eight for the first time in 11 years. 5:07 left, and East Aurora has got time to make one last run.
And the Warriors come out in a 2-1-2 zone.
Saving that one is Jones, and looks like he drew the foul against Nicholas.
But one thing I'm sure Coach Kendati does not want to see is his Warriors fouling the Tomcats and putting them at the line, giving them a chance to cut this deficit without the clock moving. So I'm sure Coach Kendati is telling his guys, hey, let's not put them on the line.
This will be, of course, a shooting foul, but the Warriors still have one foul to give as Jones misses his first free throw of the game. Let's go over now to our colleague, Joe Passion.
I'm with Larry Martins. He is the father of Scott Martins, the East Aurora coach. And Larry coached for 31 years. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame here in Illinois. What about this guy, your son, the coach? Would you change anything if you were there?
I think Westinghouse is just too good. We're not in boards like we should. So they're as quick as we are, and our kids are young. They're going to get better. We're looking forward to next year. But right now, I don't know what you do.
Well, you gave Scott a lot of coaching tips. If you had one to give him, what would you give him right now?
Give the kids as much experience as they can, and tell them they're going to come back next year, and they'll have another shot at this.
All right, Larry, great to have you down here. Back over to center court.
4:37 remaining, 55-36. Indeed, Scott Martin says that ball club was a year away, so this is really a big bonus then for this ball club to be here in the Assembly Hall and get this experience, some experience to really build on for the next season.
Well, you can't put enough on the experience. You know, you come here once or twice, that's invaluable experience.
Ronald Tooling over to Kareem Cobbins. Down low to Greer, kicked it back outside. Tooling pops up at the free throw line. Rebound slapped out front. McAllister wins the battle. McAllister gets a step, and he draws the foul against Weatherspoon.
Nice body control by McAllister. You know, he comes down, he knows a man is coming to him. Now watch the way he uses his body, Tom. He'll come down, he knows he's going to get hit, so he uses his body to protect the basketball. Here it is again. Now watch, see, he'll put his body, goes in with the back, and knows he's going to get hit. Good body control by McAllister.
Weatherspoon got all ball, but he got him down low with the body. Bumped him pretty good as McAllister at the free throw line, where he has been a perfect 5 for 5 so far. That's where he's picked up all his points. But Scott Martins has done a good job with this program that had some great days, especially back in the late 60s, early 70s under Ernie Cavisto, where they were here in the Elite Eight for 3 out of 4 years, 69, 70, and 72. Just under 4 minutes, 55-38. And the foul at midcourt. No, the ball was kicked, and it'll be out of bounds for Westinghouse.
Well, all the Warriors have to do now is just play smart. There's plenty of time remaining. You just have to use your head. Of course, Garris is on the bench, giving some other guys some valuable playing time also, and giving Garris a rest for tomorrow's possible matchup against Proviso East.
Because the winner here will play 2 games tomorrow.
What a give and go.
Clear the reverse, getting it from Nicholas.
Oh, my, what a give and go. Oh, look out.
Blocking foul as the ball taken strong to the hoop by Savage as he collided with Nicholas, who picks up the foul. Take a look. Greer getting points 26 and 27.
Give it to the man, cut towards the basket. Nice bounce pass. Uses the baseline for the beautiful reverse layup. Just outstanding between Witherspoon and Greer.
Proviso East in the first quarterfinal game won a thriller against Collinsville to go to the semifinals. And we've got a timeout called here with 3 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Westinghouse is in the lead. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. And it's time now for our player of the game, brought to you by American Airlines and American Eagles. Something special in the air. David Greer has been something special in the air here today at both ends of the court. Just another day on the court with those kind of numbers.
Boy, I tell you, just great. Here's your give and go pass. Just outstanding. This young man has just had an outstanding game so far. 27 points, 11 rebounds, 9 offensive rebounds.
We come back to action. Kevin Savage, the 6-foot junior at the free throw line. There he is, 1 of 3 this afternoon. But that's been the story for Westinghouse. When Garris has been hot, Greer says, all right, I'll just work inside and work on the boards. When Garris gets himself in trouble or has an off ball game, Greer can dominate a game, as you've seen here this afternoon.
Boy, he'll be a fine college basketball player also going to Weber State.
Westinghouse up by 19, 57-38, just over 3 minutes here for this quarterfinal ball game. There's Garris back in the ball game. No shot clock. They can take as much time as they want. Weatherspoon double team. They got him in a trap. Nearly threw it away. And Garris was able to gather it in. Garris can put on a show with this kind of delay inside the Nicholas, who was fouled, going strong to the hoop.
See, it's too early to just stall and run the clock out. So what they're doing, they're going to go stall to score. Here's a great pass by Garris, gets the ball down low to Nichols, and he's fouled. But they weren't just trying to run the clock out. They were just going for the good shot.
That's what they did so well against King in the title game. Even though King had the 7-footers, they were able to penetrate, get the ball inside, get the shot, or get fouled.
Oh, exactly. They did an outstanding job. And I think you saw what kind of coach Roy Kendati really is if you had a chance to see that Public League final. He had an outstanding game plan, and let's face it, Kendati now will move into the state semifinals.
Nicholas missing the free throw, but he was a big key in that win over King. In fact, Kendati says without the play of Nicholas, we don't beat Chicago King. He doesn't get the headlines like Garris and Greer, but he really works hard inside. You saw the graphic earlier, 11 rebounds. 2:25 remaining. The steal by Greer.
Who else?
3-on-2. 29 points now for Greer. And a 21-point lead. Hanging and scoring is Talley, who gets only a second field goal of the ball game. Westinghouse, Greer with the great save. Cobbins to the hoop, no. Nicholas knocked away from him, and it'll still be Warrior basketball. Earlier,
boy, watch this play right here. Just pretty great movement here by Westinghouse. Look at this crashing the offensive board. They just don't quit as the ball is stripped out of bounds. They just don't quit. Here you have a big 59-40 lead, under 2 minutes to go, and they just don't stop playing. Nice cut. Oh, under too far.
A little bit too deep was Billets. And here come the Tomcats of East Aurora. Minute 47 remaining for the ball game. Shot won't go for Brookson, who worked hard. He had green and white all around him. Foul is on Cobbins. Earlier in today's first quarterfinal game, it was Proviso East beating Collegeville in a heck of a ball game, 53-51. Tell you what, that Richard Keene almost about pulled it off single-handedly. Tonight, it's Rockford Boylan against Bradley Bourbonnais and Peoria Richwoods against Stevenson from Lincolnshire. Another 2 quarterfinal games tonight on the IHSA TV network. It's been that kind of a day for the Tomcats. Brookson, their leading scorer at 13 points a game. I have him just for 5. And he'll stay that way. A minute and a half to go. 19-point Westinghouse lead. Quickly at an 8th to Cobbins. The pass from out front. Vernon Hampton set him up, and Cobbins gets 2. So it's looking more and more, Kenny, like we're going to have a rematch of the semifinals of the Proviso West Holiday Tournament, which found Proviso East down by 14 points at one point in the ballgame to Westinghouse, coming back to beat Westinghouse, but that was back in December.
It will be a great matchup.
On the run, Kiwan Garris. Behind the back flip, yes, it's Kareem Cobbins. Showtime.
showtime in Champaign.
And a timeout called with exactly a minute to go.
You know, he's flashy. He's kind of a hot dog. Boy, but I tell you what, when you can make passes like this and you can complete the passes and the plays as Cobbin completes the bucket, it's okay to be a hot dog.
I think
you're only a hot dog if you don't complete it. But boy, can he play.
Finalists tonight in the three-point showdown in Class A, Mike Avens of Somonauk, Scott Aiken of Mount Morris, Brian Rhodes of North Green, Garrett Allison of Riverton, and that'll be between halves of both morning games tomorrow. And let's go now along the courtside to Joe Passion.
All right, well, I'm up here with the Westinghouse fans, and they're all over here, and they're already yelling, "We want East! We want East!" Well, they've disposed of one East, and they've got Proviso East coming up in the semifinals tomorrow. You can hear them behind me. They want East. And I think I want Kenny McReynolds in between games.
Keep dreaming, Joe.
We may have more events for Happening 92 than we originally anticipated.
Well, see, with my 13 knee operations, I'm not quit, but I can still shoot.
Were you superstitious, 13? Just under a minute, 50 seconds, 63-40. East Aurora cleared the bench. But I guarantee you haven't heard the last of the Tomcats. They'll be a power to be reckoned with next year. This is a junior-dominated ball club.
Don't be surprised to see the Tomcats back here next season.
Here's David Moore losing the basketball. He battles to get it back as Omar Magana also battling in there with him. But earlier when we were looking at the replay of Kilwan Garris, I thought I heard the sound of a whole bunch of college recruiters drooling, because there is a talent that they will be coming from across the country to be knocking at his door.
And you have to remember, he has another year to play.
Exactly.
So this young man may get better.
32 seconds. Inside, Deion Sams putting up the shot as fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line with 26.6 seconds remaining. The foul, Hugo Thurman for Westinghouse. So in semifinal game number one, it's going to be the rematch, Westinghouse and Proviso East. And I think there might be a TV Center 2 turned on in the Chicago area for that one. Holy mackerel.
Well, these schools are not that far apart. Westinghouse, of course, on the west side of Chicago. Maywood, the home of Proviso East, the western suburb, just a hop, skip, and a jump. You can probably get to the two schools within 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm so old. I remember when Maywood was a far west suburb.
Well, I'm not that old. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but I do.
I'm not that old.
I know that.
Between you and Dan, you know, you guys go back so far.
Yeah, they were still using the center jump back then, yeah. 25 seconds left. 63-42 Westinghouse. Hugo Thurman kicks it back outside. The three for Reggie Osborne. Ooh, almost bounced in the second time. 10 seconds. Osborne. Over to Hampton shooting the three. Terrence Ellis, no, as the game is over. 63-42 the final as the Warriors of Westinghouse advance to tomorrow's semifinals. One of your network sponsors.
All right, thanks very much, Roy. You came out of the locker room. You gave us 3 keys. They seem to work very well here in the second half.
Well, we let them back in the game there a little bit. We relaxed, and we got up 20 and relaxed and let them back. I think they scored 8 in a row on us, and then David decided that was enough, and he came out and really took the game over.
David, it was tremendous how you really hit the boards on both ends of the floor, and the way the ball club shared the ball really impressed the heck out of me.
Well, we just did what we had to do. You know, that's what we do in practice. Coach always tell us we got to hit the boards to win a game, but that's what a game is decided.
Real quickly, you're going to get another shot at Proviso. What do you think about that?
Well, we're just going to come out and play hard, you know, rebound, play defense, and see who the better team is.
Sounds like a coach, Roy.
Let's hope so. I did enough talking to him. He should start repeating some of the things I told him.
Congratulations, guys. Go get a good rest. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, David Greer, big game for him and Roy Condotti. They'll be back tomorrow against Proviso East. Well, in the meantime, send it back over to center court to Kenny McReynolds and Tom Stocker.
What a ball game for that young man. 29 points and a whole bushel basket full of rebounds as he definitely dominated the ball game.
Well, no question.
Now they go on to take on Proviso East.
It really should be an outstanding matchup. They played earlier this season at the Proviso West tournament. But David Greer played an outstanding basketball game. And let's not forget Garris. He didn't have his outstanding game as he usually does, but he showed some flashes, and we will see why he's one of the top juniors in the country.
Let's take a look now at the game stats. They're brought to you by Milk. It does a body good, and by the people who produce milk, the dairy farm families of Illinois and Wisconsin. The shooting percentage for Aurora East, they never got on track.
Just 28% in Westinghouse, 41%. They dominated the basketball game. Look at this, Aurora East just 2 out of 12 from the three-point line. Rebounds, Westinghouse 51 rebounds, Aurora East 27, and of course turnovers 15 apiece. Kind of a sloppy basketball game, but when you can shoot 41% and then hold your opponents to under 30%, you should win a basketball game.
So in the ball game, East Aurora never really could handle that inside size of Westinghouse. As Westinghouse goes on, their record 28-3, and again they will take on Proviso East tomorrow. Coming back one last time here at the Assembly Hall after our quarterfinal round action. Again, Westinghouse wins it.
Welcome back to Assembly Hall as we get set to close out the first end of the Class AA quarterfinals and get ready for the second end later this evening. Hello again, everyone. Joe Passion down on the court side. A big 21-point win here for Westinghouse. Let's again go back and review for you the two previous quarterfinal results today. And you saw earlier Proviso East, the #1 ranked unbeaten defending champion, squeeze out a deuce over Collinsville, and they will play Westinghouse on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock after the Warriors with their big 21-point win over East Aurora. Of course, we will be back here later this evening on this station, and we'll have the second half of the other two quarterfinal games, and that will feature Rockford Boylan against Bradley Bourbonnais, and then tonight at 8 o'clock it'll be Peoria Richwoods against Lincolnshire Stevenson. Our telecast here on this station tonight beginning at 6:30. We hope you'll join us then. For Dan Roan, Tom Stocker, and Kenny McReynolds, I'm Joe Passion from Assembly Hall. We'll see you later tonight as we continue our ride along America's original March Madness. So long, everyone.
Your network sponsors are Country Companies Insurance, bringing you state tournament action for more than 20 years. The dairy farmers of Wisconsin and Illinois, who reminds you to drink milk. It does a body good. And Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota.